Hey, OC, how did you know that Parsons was going to be able to rush the passer as well as he did? You're the only person I've ever seen to ever say that Micah Parsons could be a put his hand down guy. So I need that question answered.
The OC.
Boss, show me, man.
We do now have 2 ones in each draft over the next 2 years, and nothing says we can't use one of those to improve the team this year, which we wouldn't rule out.
He gotta talk.
Like, we must have got a guard. That's the only thing that would have made him do that. That's it.
He know.
No, he know. Because he been watching Twitter, man.
So everybody know, man, we've been rocking with the campaign about them shoes. We know.
Is it the shoes?
But now it's time to get this outfit right. Right.
My reefer with Henny and Coke. Please don't be stingy, got plenty to smoke. Show up and act up and back to the crib. I do not stun, I just rap what I live. Seem like they doing the most for the clout. Did what I said so they know what I'm about. Show up and act up and back to the crib. I do not stun, I just rap what I do.
Yeah, man.
Boss, show me.
I will. See, sometimes you can't get that outfit right till you get that bling, bling, bling. Gotta get that bling, bling, man. We got the shoes. It's time for some bling.
Shot it. Fight for. See, that's how to go out. Don't go out, just sit back. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna take Matthew Golden. No, fight for. You want it physical. You said you want it physical. Fight for it.
Man. Yeah, it's some bling out there. See, when you trying to go to the club and you trying to win everything in there, get that bling.
Oh my God.
Somebody else said
It's
Boss Cowboy Sports. Where your voice matters.
I be that nigga with the ice on me. If it costs less than 20, it don't look right on me.
If it costs less than 20, it don't look right on me. Man. Yeah, we getting ready for Philly, but I'm getting ready for the championship too. Getting ready for the championship. Okay, ooh-wee. I'm gonna really have to manage this show today. Ooh-wee. I ain't got all my buttons. It's okay. I gotta manage it just a little bit different, that's all. Boom. Yeah. Gotta show the sponsor. So listen, y'all. Just getting into it because obviously this is game week, right? And we all recognize how important that is. So, some people go, I already know. Boss, well, we not talking about how to beat Philly because everybody talking about that. So listen, and just hear me out. I do content to win championships. That is the focus of this channel. Okay? I am not going to do glorified scouting reports where it's always the same thing every week. Who the opponent, the key matchups, how to beat them. Honestly, everybody is doing that, and that's okay. That's okay that people are doing that. That's definitely not my focus. Hold on real quick. I got the wrong thumbnail. Oh, man. I know it's right. Okay, it's right. I see it. Okay, everything look right. All right, good. No, it actually look wrong. Let me fix this real quick, man. Cause it got the wrong. Oh man, everything wrong. All right, let me fix this. I gotta fix some stuff first. All right. Y'all give me 1 second. I gotta fix this. But getting down to what this is about. This is about getting that final piece. Okay? We need the final piece. And there are signals that they are willing to do the final piece. So we go talk about the final piece, because everybody know I was one of the ones definitely leading the campaign on them shoes. And when I said shoes, that's defensive tackle. Okay. I was definitely leading that campaign. But it's more than just that. Now we got literally one more move. Bling, bling.
Bling bling, bling bling, bling bling, bling bling, what? Bling bling, what? Bling bling, what? Bling bling, what?
Bling, bling.
Bling bling bling. Every time I come around, you steady bling bling.
Yeah. So we no longer talking about them shoes.
Is it the shoes?
We talking about now the last piece. Because if I don't have that chain right, my outfit is just...
Pull, they take that chain off, boy, you're blinding me. All day my phone ringing, bling, bling, bling. You can see my earring from a mile, bling.
So we talking about winning the whole thing. So we switching the campaign from shoes to bling, bling, meaning running back. RB1. RB1 is what we should be targeting right now, and a quality RB1. Not a committee, going forward with RB1. And if we willing to do that, we are truly not just putting ourselves in a position to be competitive. We putting ourselves in a position to win it all. Remember, it was Philly that invested in the Saquon as the final piece. Saquon was the final piece to the puzzle that put them over the hump. Dallas could literally do the exact same thing, and they're showing they're willing to do it. So give me 1 second, man. I still gotta fix my title. Y'all just be patient with me while I do that. Give me 1 second. One of them technical things you gotta fix live. So, because you can't have a bad title sitting out there, people ain't gonna click on your video. So y'all give me 1 second. Be patient, and then I'm gonna get back to what I was saying. Okay, it's still up in here. Okay, good. So I just need to update it right here. Okay, so I'm just updating it now. Give me 1 second to update this. Yeah, because people go think I'm talking about some old information. You can't have that. 1 second. Boom. All right. everything should be updated now. All right. So here we go. Now, I do want to tell y'all, and like I said, I do content for championships, right? So I did this show yesterday. Okay. Healing the Micah divide, which is what I said is the first Philly prep. Okay. The first preparation for beating Philly is healing the Micah divide. Okay. So when I'm gonna come back to the bling bling, because it's no longer talking about shoes. We're talking about bling bling. But see, some people was thinking I was wrong for saying that Dak was tone deaf. Okay. Now, just listen to CeeDee Lamb.
What's it going to be like on September 28th?
The worst. It's going to be weird. It's going to be conflicting, and I hope he is not in the backfield in 2 seconds. Dead ass.
What's it going to be like on September 28th?
The worst. It's going to be weird. It's going to be conflicting, and I hope he is not in the backfield in 2 seconds. Dead ass.
Boss, come on. Dak was not tone deaf.
To Micah, yeah, we just shared messages right after. Wished him good luck.
Yeah, so he wished him good luck, so you could tell it's no issues with him. But at the same time, what he talked about was that the locker room didn't have no problems. That's what he said. We all playing ping pong. That's what he said. Does this look like there's no mental problems?
What's it going to be like on September 28th?
The worst. It's going to be weird. It's going to be conflicting, and I hope he is not in.
These are your leaders. He said it's going to be the worst. Did y'all hear that? Yeah. And so when you go look at Dak, I'm telling you, Dak look out of touch. I know y'all don't want to hear that because Dak is always attacked falsely and wrong and unrighteously. But this time, Dak is truly out of touch, man. And he need to get a hold of that locker room. He does. I know Brian doing it, but he needs to do it too. Right. So I'm going to show you, then I'm going to go back to the bling bling. Okay? Because this is all about Philly. Let me play this real quick. Give me 1 second. All right. Play this.
Dak, with the timing of the trade and everything, what was the message to the guys, given that you guys have a game in just a few days against the Eagles?
My message to the guys?
Yeah, right immediately after the trade.
I don't know if there was a necessary meeting or things needed to be said or handled or had. I mean, it was a very public issue that everybody could look on the internet or ask somebody or ask one of y'all and get a lot of intel or feelings about it that, like I said, it's just good to be past it. And as I said, both parties are happy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's what you saying. But then this is what they saying.
The backfield in 2 seconds. Dead ass.
What's it going to be like on September 28th?
The worst. It's going to be weird. It's going to be conflicting, and I hope he is not in the backfield in 2 seconds.
Dak, with the timing of the trade and everything, what was the message to the guys, given that you guys have a game in just a few days against the Eagles?
My message to the guys?
Yeah, right immediately after the trade.
I don't know if there was a necessary meeting or things needed to be said or handled or had. I mean, it was a very public.
Look like you out of touch.
What have these last few days been like, trying to really focus on week one, but understanding that a pretty big moment happened on Thursday for you guys?
It's kind of like it's one of those things. Like the timing of it is something that doesn't really allow you to dwell on any of that. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. That's my dog. Kind of sad that he's gone, but I'm at the same time very happy for him.
So are you telling me that he shouldn't at least go talk to them? Because CeeDee Lamb is a captain feeling like that. Osa is a captain talking about that it sucks. And a lot of us, especially if you haven't played ball, for some reason, we think these dudes are robots. We think these dudes are robots. Okay. They're not robots. Let me tell you real quick, give you a perfect example. When I was playing football at the University of Houston, the leader of our squad was a receiver by the name of Jarian James. This is my brother right here, Jarian James. Okay. He was a true alpha dog. From top to bottom. The first time I met him, I hated him because I hated our receivers. I met him when I was being recruited to the University of Houston, right? So he was on my recruiting trip. So when I met him, I was like, "Where you from, bro?" He was like, "Man, I'm from Galveston." I said, "All right." I said, "You nice?" My boy said, "Shit, I'm ice." My boy said, "Shit, boy, I'm ice," and start laughing. And I hated him right then. Because I always hated receivers. I hated our receivers. Because I put myself in a state of mind that y'all was always trying to embarrass us, and it made me play at my best. Right? But then I started playing with him. Then he came to the university, and I saw how real dog he was. He was willing to do stuff that other players wasn't willing to do. Right? So he was 190, and he was willing to take on linebackers every day at practice. Okay. So, and I saw that he was a consistent dog, to where even though I tried to put myself in a mind state to hate him because I played at my best, when I played with hate, I couldn't hate him because he was just too real of a dog. So for instance, we played the national champions, Tennessee, and my boy still went off on them. He still had 10 catches for about 140 on the national champions with 110,000 people watching. He did not break his swag. He stayed dog day in and day out. I'm saying that because I'm trying to explain that all the people, they just need to get over it. It don't work like that. You got to actually go deal with them people and their emotions. Listen, CD Lamb is not a robot. Osa is not a robot. You can't just say, go get over it. No, you didn't get over it quick, Dak. When it was Will Greer, you was clearly showing that you was upset. And so because we trying to get ready for Philly, I'm telling y'all, you have to manage these emotions. CeeDee Lamb clearly said it's going to be weird. That's what he said.
That's
Hold on.
What's it going to be like on September 28th?
The worst. It's going to be weird.
The worst.
It's gonna be
he said it's going to be the worst. He said it's going to be the worst. He said it's going to be conflicting. But Dak was clearly saying, I don't feel like I got to say none of them. I ain't got to say none of that. You don't think that needs to be managed? So I tagged Dak today because see, I'm never gonna sit back quiet if I can do anything to help the situation. Maybe Dak go read my tweet, maybe he not. But I'm not gonna sit back and not say nothing. And I'm like, Dak, you gotta go talk to them dudes, bro. Go have lunch with them dudes, man. It's more than get over it. And I'm saying that because when I played ball, we was sitting at practice and the leader of my team at practice broke his ankle. Now, we had many people get injured on our team. Many people. But it was different when Jarian got injured. You could feel, because of the love that we had for him, you could feel the energy of the whole team go down. You could feel it. It was worse because he was crying because his ankle was broke. So usually we would just move on. Somebody got injured, we just moved on. With him, I felt it. And I'm a cornerback. I ain't supposed to feel my morale go down when a receiver gets hurt. But he was different. He was a true dog. I literally call him at least twice a year. And I tell him every time, bro, you the only receiver that I've ever respected in my whole life. And I mean it. So when somebody got straight leadership traits, you gotta handle that. And you gotta go really deal with that. So I want to talk about that because, see, I'm not just talking, and I really do content because I'm conscious of not just the X's and O's, the mental state. It's way more than just X's and O's. And a lot of us go deal with that. This is how to beat them. They're gonna run this, they're gonna run a cover 6 and all that. Now, what's the mental state of these guys before they play on Thursday? Because the mental state gonna be the most important. They gonna be ready for the X's and O's. Are they mentally ready for the war against Philly? So I'm gonna have to make this a short show because I'm clearly under the weather. But check this out. Now I want to get into this bling bling, right? This bling bling. Because that's the new campaign I'm on. And this bling bling is important because we have a real chance to get the Dallas Cowboys to make a move. Okay? So, everybody know that on this channel we was pushing for DT and I was calling it shoes.
Is it the shoes?
And we end up getting the shoes. We had a campaign where we said respect one tech, right? So it's a lot of us that's gonna be spending a lot of time almost on a weekly basis talking about the coming matchups and how to win. If we get too caught up on the weekly matchups, we could lose this opportunity to improve the team. This is what I mean. They was clearly, and they are clearly interested in potentially making a move, and we can't let that go past us. So just listen.
The other thing that I want to say is we not only gives us 4 first-round picks over the next 2 years, we not only do that, nothing says we can't use some of those picks right now to go get somebody right now. Don't rule that out. To go get somebody right now. Don't rule that out. Nothing says we can't use some of them. Only do that. Nothing says we can't use some of those picks right now to go get somebody right now. Don't rule that out.
Nothing is saying we can take them Micah Parsons picks and not get somebody right now. He telling us straight up, don't rule that out. So if I'm over here always just focused on just the matchup of the week, we can miss the moment to put pressure on him to get the bling bling. To go get that bling bling. where you can actually get better. So listen to Steven.
The other thing that I want to say is we not only gives us 4 first-round picks over the next 2 years.
I meant Jerry.
We not only do that. Nothing says we can't use some of those picks right now to go get somebody right now. Don't rule that out. And I'm just going to give you this. Not only do we immediately get a player, but those draft picks could get us, I'm talking top Pro Bowl type players, could. Not necessarily, you're going to be quick to say, you won't necessarily get those players. You got to draft them or acquire them. But they could get us as few as 3 or as many as 5 outstanding players. The other thing that I want to say is we not only gives us 4 first-round picks over the next 2 years. We not only do that. Nothing says we can't use some of those picks right now to go get somebody right now. Don't rule that out.
We do now have 2 1s in each draft over the next 2 years, and nothing says we can't use one of those to improve the team this year, which we wouldn't rule out this year.
So, they said that multiple times in the press conference. And I'm like you, Klebo. My boy Klebo say, show me, Jerry. I don't believe you. Well, I want to talk about how to get it. Because, yeah, if we just do nothing, then they are not going to do anything either. See, it's a reason why, shout out to my boy Lou. Shout out to my boy Lou, because he working his ass off. And I love working and rocking with my boy Lou, because he is a man of action. And he is a man of principle. Lou is gonna put in that work for specific ideas, whether it's popular or not. If he believe in it, he gonna stand flat-footed for what's right for the team, and he's not gonna shake. And that's why I know Lou is almost like my twin brother, because I'm wired like that too. So for instance, it was not popular at all in the offseason to be riding for Booker. It made you look stupid because you was going against the majority of people who wanted a weapon at 12. A majority of the fan base wanted a weapon at 12. But Lou was like, no. And I was like, no, bruh. None of them receivers is Booker. So if we got to go against the crowd for what's best for the team, that's what we doing. And this is what I love about Lou. When we got Booker, most of the people that was team weapons didn't give us a second to celebrate. It was more so like, if this don't work, I'm going at y'all. It's like, bro, we can't be happy draft day? God damn. Like, hell nah. Nah. Go watch what Landlord did, but Landlord was like, he said, if this shit don't work, I'm putting cases on all y'all. That's what he said. Right after the pick. So we didn't even get a moment to be just happy. And guess what Lou and I did? We said, hey, let's get to work on wide receiver 2. And we immediately turned the page. We didn't even have time to celebrate. It was like, all right, we got that. Move to the next campaign of need. And this is what happened in the streets. Most of the people that was for wide receiver 2 quit. They ain't do no more hashtags. They ain't do no more pushing. They ain't do no more lobbying. Man, this is over with. Lou and I kept working like, shit, fuck that. We started doing a whole lot of content on potential options as wide receiver 2. And it ended up being Pickens. And guess what? That's happening right now. Lou was shooting hot bullets with me for one tech. We just got that. We didn't take no time to celebrate. It's on to the next thing that can make us a champion. And this time it's the bling bling. It's about the bling bling, the last accessory to the outfit.
I be that nigga with the ice on me. If it costs less than 20, it don't look right on me.
If it costs less than 20, it don't look right on me.
I be that nigga with the ice on me. If it costs less than 20, it don't look right on me.
So you got them saying, we are willing to trade. Don't rule that out. So this is how we can put pressure for them to actually do that. Listen.
Well, first off, all this praise for Stephen Jones and Kellen Moore and all this just sobering me up right now. But my question for John is, does Stephen Jones know how hated he is by the fan base right now?
You know, I don't think so. And the reason I say that is because, you know, he's just not on a social media type person. You know, there's plenty of people in the organization that will talk about how they're not on social media, but like, yeah, I bet you at least check it and things like that. Now, I will say, so Jerry, Steven, and some other people in the front office, they do get a printout. I don't know if it's daily, but every couple days, in the front office, they do get a printout. I don't know if it's daily, but every couple days of, you know, Twitter things that, you know, are being written and people are saying, but I in the front office, they do get a printout. I don't know if it's daily, but every couple days of, you know, Twitter things that, you know, are being written and people are in the front office, they do get a printout. I don't know if it's daily, but every couple days of, you know, Twitter things that Harry, Steven, and some other people in the front office, they do get a printout. I don't know if it's daily, but every couple days of, you know, Twitter things that, you know, are being written and people are saying, but I
hence hashtag trade for RB1. That's, see, and it's a lot of people take pride in believing that we don't matter. It's a lot of people when we start talking about organizing and saying, hey, let's get behind a campaign. Let's hashtag whenever we talking about running back. Don't just talk about running back. Hashtag it so it puts all our voice together. Okay. See, that's important. So for instance, my boy Lou is doing that right now. Let me show you. Okay. So he putting out ideas and I'm just supporting it. Right? So he said the Cowboys need an RB1, a true alpha signature back. And I just forwarded it and I at Dallas, right? Because they getting a printout of this every day or every other day. They're getting a printout of this. They are getting reports about what Cowboy fans are discussing every day or every other day. Now, do they have accounts individually where they're going back and forth? No. But they are very concerned about what we are saying as a group, because we are the ones that keep money in their coffers. So they're going to continue to look at what we're saying to make sure that their business is in line with us as well. So don't be that person that thinks you don't matter. You matter. So Lou pushing ideas, okay, doing content, different stuff about RB1, and I just got behind it. and said none of the committee are these guys. We all know it. The faster you pull the trigger, the better. So if I click on it, because now we have started the campaign, right? Let me show you how our voices work together. So if I click on it, guess what? Now you can see all the people that's pushing. D.A. Lee, Star, Lou. Because what is now, when you get behind that hashtag, you putting all our voices together. Somebody named Stephen Mack. I don't even know who he is, but he is behind the movement. And if his stuff get traction, he got 1,000 impressions. So by himself, he might think that's nothing. But when you add that to the group, that's significant. So I posted something. Lou just added to the campaign, trade for RB1, because he added his voice to what I said. And it adds up together. Somebody named ISO. I don't even know who that is. But they doing right. They like, no, I'm a part of that idea. I want it. Now, this person should have just stayed out, because this is some bullshit. Somebody said, I honestly don't understand the trade for RB1 movement. Yes, I get that a bona fide RB1 would be nice, but trading for a guy in the year 4 of his rookie contract is not ideal. Okay, bro, listen, bro. I ain't on that Stephen Jones shit like we trying to get the ideal for budgets. I'm trying to get the guy that's ideal for a goddamn championship, bro. I don't care about these ideal. Is Jonathan Taylor clearly better than what we have now? That's the question, not is it ideal? No, it don't have to be ideal. It's the fact that they're willing to do something.
And I'm just going to give you this. Not only do we immediately get a player, but those draft picks could get us, I'm talking top Pro Bowl type players, could. Not necessarily, you're going to be quick to say, you won't necessarily get those players. You got to draft them or acquire them. But they could get us as few as 3 or as many as 5 outstanding players.
So I don't care if it's ideal. Like, if you go object to the movement, why did you hashtag the movement? Why did you put a voice of opposition into the movement? Like, you should have just talked to me. So Courtney, she put her voice on it. You see what I'm saying? Somebody named Davion Wallace put his voice on it. Then I'm gonna be in here multiple times. Somebody named Quez put his voice on it. So let me tell y'all something that I know from behind the scenes. Okay? Then we go talk about how to push this together and why we need to start talking about it now. Cause see, it's a lot of people that's already like, it's some people out there like, let's see what these guys can do. Bro, I don't have to see what these guys can do to know that Jonathan Taylor is better. I ain't gotta wait for the season to start to know that. Why do I gotta wait when we already know? Let's just see what happens. No, I don't gotta wait. I already know that Jonathan Taylor is a clear upgrade. I don't gotta wait on that. What I gotta wait for? Number one. Number two, this is what I learned from years and years of negotiation, bro. And winning, okay? What I've learned, and I told y'all this before, the best thing to always do is to put your ideas out there before the need is clear. That's actually what we did for One Tech. And I said that. As soon as we got Pickens, I said, all right, we moving on to one tech. That's the next big thing we need to handle, right? I said the goal is to have that done before the trade deadline. I said because what you want to do is be pushing this ideal loud so that when the need is obvious, you already have some options out there. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. So I'm gonna give you an example. A lot of times when I was doing negotiations and stuff for resources and stuff that I needed, and I would talk to management about what I needed, I always knew when I first asked for it, they was gonna say no. I knew it. Every time. Every time they said no at first. So what I would do is I would, like, let's say I had a goal to try to double my production, right? And I had a plan on how to do that, but I needed resources for that. And I need the company to approve those resources. I would talk to my manager, say, hey, if you give me this intern, I'm gonna be able to double my production, right? This is what I'm gonna have them focused on. I'm gonna have them focused on my mailouts or my internet leads or my comment cards. I'm gonna also be training them to be the future rep. So when you need a rep, you go have somebody that's experienced and trained under me, and you don't have to go outside. You can go right within and hire my people. Plus, you know, boss, that when I train them, they usually become superstars. I got 4 regional rookies under me and 2 national rookies under me. And I was a national rookie. So you go reproduce success if you go with my people. And it would be no. And I'd be like, okay. Then a couple of months later, I come back and I dust off the idea, talk to them about it again. It would be no, right? And I'd be like, all right, cool, right? And sometimes it would be no for stuff that didn't make no sense. One time I was trying to get a resource and the regional manager said, because I was saying, hey, this guy named Kyle, he got a sales associate and I'm selling way more than him and I don't even have a sales associate. So I'm gonna do way more production wise if y'all give me the resources. The dude told me we like him. So what you gotta do is you gotta wait for pain on their end. Sales. I'm gonna say what type of work you do. Sales. So so check this out. So you gotta wait on pain. That's what you gotta wait on. You gotta wait on receiver by committed not to work. And that's when, if you was pushing ideas for receiver, they go dust off that proposal because now they're in pain. So the time to start pushing for running back by committee and a RB1 is now, because what we're doing is we're giving answers before the problem is obvious. Because see, right now we're in the offseason still. But when the real bullets start flying and you start seeing the real outcome of running back by committee, it's smart to already have some proposals out there. It's smart to already have these are some guys you can look at. Trade for RB1. Why does Jonathan Taylor make sense? He's in a hellhole with a trash quarterback in a place to where likely rebuilding makes sense. And in times where teams are rebuilding, sometimes they unload assets. That's what happened with the Dallas Cowboys and Herschel Walker. It wasn't that Herschel Walker wasn't a good player. The team, Dallas, was in a position where they were saying we needed more. We need more players. So we got to take the asset that we have on this bad team and try to multiply it. That's the proposal of how and why to trade for somebody like a Jonathan Taylor. And you start the talks now. You don't have to wait till, well, let's see what happened to Philly. Well, let's see what happened. You ain't got to wait. No, put it out there now and wait on the crisis to come. That's what you do. Another perfect situation is obviously Alvin Kamara. So we know the Saints is in a horrible cap position. Horrible. And they are in a situation where, just like the Colts, they could look at him as an older asset to where they might be able to get younger. And it opens up a potential opportunity for a trade. It opens up an opportunity for you to take one of those, maybe not even one of your first. You might be able to keep your first, Steven. You can keep your first. Maybe for somebody like an Alvin Kamara, you give away a fourth or a fifth. He's older. But they'll look at that like, hey, bro, listen, we trying to get younger. We trying to build Kellen Moore's team. We committed to him for about 3 years. Yeah, let's go ahead and move on from him. Especially if they start off losing. Man, you can get on the phone and you can mess around and get your RB1. You can get your RB1. The two best that fit the best, the Stephen Jones kind of former great philosophy where they go out the former first and second rounders and stuff like that. But you won't be giving up a premium draft pick for a quality player. That's Alvin and that's Jonathan Taylor. Right now.
We do now have 2 1s in each draft over the next 2 years, and nothing says we can't use one of those to improve the team this year, which we wouldn't rule out this.
Then I gotta say something. Cowboy Nation, y'all gotta stop this trying to stop us from being aggressive on our ideas. So if y'all go look at my Twitter or my X, right? Let me go show y'all something. I'm gonna go to my X real quick. I'm gonna show y'all how Cowboy fans can do. And it get frustrating because it be like, bro, use that energy to help, bro. Hold on, let me just show y'all. Let me just show y'all real quick. Give me a second to find it. Y'all give me 1 second, man. Oh, man. Because I got to show you how it be so annoying. Be like, bro, if y'all don't, oh, my God, sometimes y'all be annoying as hell. Because I gotta just, give me a second, bro. Y'all give me 1 second. I'm still trying to find it. Oh man, I can't find it. All right, so listen. So this is what basically happened. I put at one of the ideas about Bijan Robinson, right? And you start getting a whole bunch of Cowboy fans saying, a bunch of them too, Why would Atlanta get rid of Bijan Robinson? I don't know. Maybe why would Dallas get rid of Micah Parsons? Fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like, listen, bro. Why do y'all fart on people trying to be aggressive for ideas? Right? And it's not even about, at this point, if the idea is realistic. It's more so about just putting ideas out there to generate the conversation. Bijan generates conversation. And you won't allow conversation, but you got a lot of us that want to fight ideas instead of fighting and adding to the campaign. It's like, bro, you could have hashtagged Dallas with this opposition you got against an idea to get better. Yeah, here it is. So my boy D.A. Lee doing the Lord's work, you know. He doing the Lord's work. You know, my boy D.A. Lee, you know, he a day one over in this channel. He been here since it was only 20 people up in here. He was one. He was there, he was here this long. And he definitely believes in shooting from the top. He's always shooting for the top. He's gonna try to take that shot from half court. That's my brother, right? So, and this is some more work that my boy Lou did too, by the way. Lou did this, right? So, and it's not necessarily about Bijan, it's about getting them to be aggressive, right? And then he said Dallas should absolutely trade for RB1. So he added to the campaign with that, right? Trade for Bijan. He even added that, which is not our campaign, but I like that he did that because he's trying to focus on a particular top level player. Tag me and Lou because he know we go get down with it. We ain't gonna just sit on it. We go do something with that. So I pushed it out, right? And you see a lot of people, like if you go in there, you go see some people. Why would Dallas do this? Why would look? Why would Atlanta trade Bijan? Bro, who gives a damn? And like my boss said, why would Dallas trade Micah? Shit, like exactly. It's like, bro, we just pushing ideas out there, bro. You got them saying that they might trade and don't rule that out. And we over here, why would they do that, bro? I'm not trying to figure out everything that's going on. They might just want to try to get more picks. They might be targeting a particular player. Who knows? We traded Micah. We traded Herschel Walker. We traded players. We traded Amari Cooper for a fit. You don't know why a team might trade a player. Just put the idea out there. And see, when people use this type of energy, it's like, bro, you should have just helped the campaign. You could have put a hashtag and just had. It's like you wasting time to talk to us about, well, this don't make sense. And then somebody else, I don't know where people are getting the idea. Bro, we just pushing the idea out there. That's what we doing. So you got Cowboy fans that's like, why would they do that? It's like, bro, I don't give a damn. Just help the fucking movement. Stop questioning everything and let's get together. Let's ride together. Who knows? And this is the thing. Anybody with wisdom will say this. Shoot for the stars and be happy if you land amongst the clouds. That's why you push Bijan. You push Bijan because they might say, we ain't gonna do Bijan, but we go at least do Jonathan Taylor. So ask for the stars and settle for the clouds. So for everybody that's, why would they do that? I'm gonna just tell y'all now, we don't care. When they talking about potentially doing something and being aggressive and saying don't rule that doubt, and I know that y'all get a report of what we talking about, then I'm going to flood your inbox with reports.
doubt that gets into the kind of front office. They do get a printout. I don't know if it's daily, but every couple days of, Twitter things that, and
oh man, Lou, this is why I love Lou. Lou is my dog forever. I love, man. Look, let me show y'all Lou coming, bro. This is why I told y'all this boy is a killer. He's a top killer. Hold on, man. Let me show you my boy coming, bro. Hey, hold on real quick. My boy say, look at this. Look at this. My boy Lou say, Harriet, where we going? Harriet Tubman, where we going? Damn, how long it's gonna take us to get there? I need to go back, man. Master used to feed me some, man, Master used to feed us. It wasn't so bad that we was eating water and onion soup. Hey, Lou, they were feeding them slaves onion and water. And it was some slaves following Harriet like, where we going? I thought you said we was going to freedom. What's taking so long? Why we gotta follow you? And you go have some content creators out there like, yeah, Malcolm X. Yeah. It's like, bro, you know how big of a compliment that is to call us freedom fighters, bro? Because, see, Harriet would have shot you. She wouldn't have shot me and Lou. No, she would have been like, hey, I thank y'all for helping out. That's what Harriet would have said to Lou and me. Thank you for being a part of this. And you know what, Harriet had a pistol, and you know what she would do to them type slaves? Shoot them. Once you started all that, why would they trade? Why would they do that? I don't like this campaign. It'd be like, bro, just get the fuck on, bro. If you're not willing to work, just say nothing, bro. Just move. So I want to say this that's important. I talked to Lou behind the scenes, bro. And Lou told me something that's super encouraging that I want y'all to really pay attention to. Lou told me that this campaign of trade for RB1 was the #1 impressions that he's ever gotten. Lou told me that he's now up to 300,000 impressions across all the socials on the hashtag of trade for RB1. What that's saying is there's a lot of cowboy soldiers that's ready to ride for the bling bling movement.
Bling bling, bling bling, bling bling, bling bling, what? Bling bling, what? Bling bling, what? Bling bling, what?
It's a lot of soldiers out there. It's a lot of slaves that's ready to be free.
Bling bling, bling bling, bling bling, bling bling, what? Bling bling, what? Bling bling, what? Bling bling, what?
It's a lot of cowboy fans that's ready to get behind a plan. My boy on his own got, in just 2 days, 300,000 impressions on the hashtag trade for RB1.
Bling bling, bling bling, bling bling, bling bling, what? Bling bling, what? Bling bling, what? Bling bling, what?
See, because we got the shoes. We got the shoes. Kenny Clark is the shoes. That was the shoes. So we got, our outfit look good. But if we ain't got that chain, it don't look quite right.
I be that nigga with the ice on me. If it costs less than 20, it don't look right on me.
See, you trying to get that outfit to where no lady is gonna say no to you. Do you hear me? See, we got an outfit where we gonna be able to find a wife. But I want that outfit where I want to be able to pull anything up in here.
I be that nigga with the ice on me. If it costs less than 20, it don't look right on me.
See, the lady is the Super Bowl. If you trying to pull And I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell y'all a true story. This is a true story. I am not capping, bro, about the power of bling bling. You hear me? Listen. I'm gonna tell you the power of bling bling.
Bling, bling, bling. Every time I come around, you steady bling, bling.
So I'm gonna tell you the power of bling bling. Listen. This is not gonna be graphic, but it's true. Okay. And this happened to me many times. You know, me playing cornerback, I was always flamboyant. And just keeping it real. I was a flamboyant dressing type of guy. And I was always upgrading my wardrobe all the time. But I used to upgrade my gold chains, right? And what I would do is I would save my money and I would trade the gold, right? Because you buy gold truly on weight, okay? I want y'all to understand that. You buy gold on weight. So I finally got my chain when I was trading for it, where I finally got it up to about $4,000 in value. And I got this big old coin that was an authentic 24 karat Chinese coin on my chain that was $4,000. And I'm in college. And I was one of the first to rock a 30-inch chain. I'm serious, bro. I'm serious. This ain't capping. I ain't bragging. I'm just telling you what happened to me. So then I always had a nice wardrobe, always. But then I added that chain to it. And I remember the first time I rocked that chain, bro. It's a $4,000 chain with a big old gold coin, Panda 24 karat coin. It was dope. It was a unique chain. And I went to New Orleans. It was my first time wearing it. So I'm out there with my boys. We're in New Orleans. I saw this beautiful woman sitting at the bar. She was a 12. Easily a 12. And see, usually you got a mouthpiece. You got to go up there. How you doing, little mama? You go kind of get your talking going. She was at the bar. She looked at me. She got up. She walked right over to me. She grabbed my chain and started rubbing it. True story. She just started rubbing my coin. And she said, baby, because she was from New Orleans. She said, baby, I like that. I like that look. And let me tell you, I'm a good woman. I cook, I clean, I go to dealing, I'm educated, I take care of you. I ain't even say my name yet.
Bling, bling, bling. Every time I come around, you steady bling, bling.
I ain't even say my name yet.
Bling, 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 what? Bling, bling, what? Bling, bling, what? Bling, bling, what?
See, if you want to be in a position, Dallas Cowboys, to where you don't even have to say your name, where you put, yeah, Lou, I swear to God, she said, baby. She said, baby. And was rubbing my chain. So you know that's what got her attention. It was that bling.
Bling, bling.
It was that bling.
I be that nigga with the ice on me. If it costs less than 20, it don't look right on me. Pull they take that chain off, boy, you're blinding me. All day my phone ringing. Bling, bling, bling. You can see my earrings from a mile. Bling.
So yeah, so we was on the shoes. We've changed it. It's no longer about them shoes. We got the shoes. Now it's about the bling bling. Dallas, you can go get that bling. Go get the bling. All right. So let me show you. I posted this April 16th, 2020. And so I was making the case for Jonathan Taylor before he was drafted. Now, let me first tell you about me. about this particular post. I always have been about using influence to try to get things done for the Dallas Cowboys. That has always been my aim. And I'm going to tell you, that's actually how I started. That's how I became a podcaster. It's pushing ideas to the Dallas Cowboys. So let me give you an example. So I first started talking sports because I was going through a mental issue, right? And it was making me feel better, right? But me just discussing sports and football, one of my brothers, Anthony, he was like, bro, you talk that Cowboys football well. You write well. He said, hey, I'm in a group and you can see all the members in there. He said, I figured out that this particular group, it was called a war something. I can't remember. It was it was the leadership in there was kind of weird, but it was some influential people in there, right? And he told me, he said, Brian Broaddus in there, Will McClay in there. He said, I'm going to add you to this group because you push good ideas. I said, yeah, let's do it. Because I was pushing these ideas because I just wanted them to see it. I was basically trying to lead from the back. That's all I was doing. I was putting ideas out there because maybe Will McClay, maybe Brian Broaddus on their off time might be scrolling through just bullshitting and looking at group activity, and then they might come across it. So I was trying to force good ideas into their face. It's the same thing we doing now with the hashtag. I'm basically saying I've always been about using my influence to try to put good ideas in the building. That's what my channel and what Boss Cowboy has always been about. That's what got me into content. And because I was doing it at a heavy level, that's when West Coast discovered me. And West Coast was like, bro, what you doing with all this writing, bro? What you doing? You writing for free, bro. You should be getting paid. I was like, what? He was like, yeah, you can get paid to do this, bro. I was like, huh? He was like, yeah. He was like, yeah, let's do some content, bro. Let's get you going. That's how I got in the game. Pushing ideas to the Cowboys. So this was one of them. That's why this is so old. It goes back to April 16, 2020. So I was trying to make the case that the Dallas Cowboys should be targeting Jonathan Taylor. Because I was saying the draft community is crazy. Because I was putting Saquon right beside Jonathan Taylor college production and their measurables, and it really wasn't a clear difference except the agility of Saquon was obviously different. But the production and athleticism was exactly the same. So height 6 feet, Jonathan 5'10", weight 233, Jonathan Taylor was 226. Arm length was perfectly identical, hand size perfectly identical. Bench press was far apart, but you don't really look at that. It's about the strength on the field. The vertical, which was a sign of explosive, went to Saquon, but the 40 time was edged out by Jonathan Taylor. But most importantly, both of those guys was in the very same conference, right? And if you look at both of those guys in the conference, Saquon in 3 years had 3,800 yards and 43 touchdowns. Jonathan Taylor in 3 years had 6,000 yards and 50 touchdowns. And I was making the case. I said Barkley had a top 5 grade coming out, and Jonathan Taylor has a second round grade. This is the exact reason not to trust NFL analysis. The measurable between the running backs and Taylor college production is elite. It's too elite to have a massive difference in their draft grade. Team move down, second round steals, team common sense. And Jonathan Taylor was the guy that I highlighted as the guy that literally made no sense to be graded where he was graded. He had a second round grade with way more production than Saquon Barkley. Why am I saying that? Because guess what? You getting ready to play Philly. And what turned them around was them getting Saquon goddamn Barkley. You have a chance to get a Saquon Barkley-ish type of guy that's likely looked over and likely could be traded about the Colts if you willing to go get some bling.
And I'm just going to give you this. Not only do we immediately get a player, but those draft picks could get us, I'm talking top Pro Bowl type players, could. Not necessarily, you're going to be quick to say, you won't necessarily get those players. You got to draft them or acquire them. But they could get us as few as 3 or as many as 5 outstanding players.
So, the time is now. You know, like, listen, man, listen. I'm cool with having the discussions about Philly. But honestly, I don't want to be a glorified scouting report guy. I want to be a guy that helps this team get over the hump. Because week in and week out, it's going to be with this opponent. This is the key matchup. This is how Dallas should win the game. And this is, man, all right. And listen, shout out to the people that do that. That's fine. I'm talking about getting over the hump. So sometimes we are going to skip a normal scheduled program of X's and O's and we go talk about the bigger picture of how to win the whole thing. Yeah. So, what really moves front office? That's the key question. What moves them? What gets them going? What moves them? What moves them? You want to know what moves them? Because, see, a lot of people could be like, they just talking. Well, how do you move them from out of just talking? Isn't that the key question? So first we know they listening to X and getting the reports on it. But what moves them?
You talked about the frustration from the fans a little bit. It's kind of that.
He said you talked about the frustration from the fans.
You talked about the frustration from the fans a little bit. It's kind of that narrative that you want to change. Does that ever wear on you as a person?
No, no. At the end of the day, it motivates me. And
what did he say motivates him? What motivates him? You want to know how to move them? Some of y'all ain't gonna want to hear this because y'all love wearing positive Pampers. But what moves them is when you're angry. Not when you praising them. Not when you telling them how smart they are and how genius they are. It's when you mad. He said it motivates them.
You know, it's not easy to win a championship. There's only 1 out of 32 every year, and we understand that. But we've got to be that one. And until we change that narrative, it's going to be there, and it'll be heavy. It'll be motivational.
Your anger is heavy. It's motivational.
And it'll put energy in me. It's going to put energy in Coach Schottenheimer. I know it puts energy in Jerry Jones.
Your anger just puts energy in Steven. Your anger puts energy in Brodden Schottenheimer. And I know it puts energy in Jerry.
And certainly puts energy in Will and, the organization as a whole. We want this for our fans. Our fans are the best. Number one, the best. And they deserve that.
So, what moves them? What gives them energy? What gives them motivation? When you fed up. But let's be honest. Most of Cowboy Nation is not fed up. Most of Cowboy Nation is thirsty for positivity. And because we so thirsty for positivity, that puts the brakes on them. It makes them slow down. They lose motivation. They lose energy because we so ready to praise them for what they haven't earned yet. So, any good manager, when they figure out what motivates you, you know what they do? You know what good managers do? They do it over and over. When they figure out what motivates you, they just keep running the play. This is what I said about Trayvon Diggs. I said, I just noticed this. Because I was in leadership a lot. I've done it a lot. I understand it a lot. I understand about, and I read a lot about it. Maxwell teaches that you lead through vision, values, and motivation. Those are the ways that you lead. Vision, values, and motivation. He teaches that, right? So, for instance, Trayvon Diggs. I just noticed, you know what motivates him? What motivates Trayvon Diggs? If you want Trayvon Diggs to go to a whole nother level, what do you do to him? I'm gonna ask you a question. What's up, Battle Cowboys? Appreciate you for doing the work, bro. I see you on Twitter. You definitely for the RB campaign. I see you out there putting in that work. But let's see how many of y'all observe it. What gets Trayvon going? Somebody say take away his girlfriend. What get Trayvon going? Somebody say money. HyperX hit it right on the head. You hit it, HyperX. HyperX and his profile is Diggs. Yup, Brian Peters, you hit it. Yup, doubt him. Talk bad about him. That's how you get him going. Talk bad about his name, Kelvin said. Yup, that's what get him going. See, just think about what he just did. It was leaks out there that he didn't take his offseason serious. What happened, HyperX? What happened? Oh, I don't take my offseason serious. You know this knee surgery that I have? The estimate said that I shouldn't even be able to do anything athletically from 12 to 18 months based on having a grafted surgery where they take the cartilage and they put it in your knee. You ain't even supposed to be able to do most activities for a year to 18 months. But when they said he don't take his offseason, and that was the leaks, he came back faster than Rebel and Butler and getting ready to play game one when most of us wasn't even expecting Diggs to December. Most of us, when he first had his surgery, we was thinking, oh, we ain't gonna see Diggs to December at best. At best. Now you finna see Diggs versus Philly in 2 days. So what motivates him? talking against him. So let me also say this. If you know that and you want the best out of Diggs, what would you do as his manager or as his leader? See, I ain't ready for that question. Because the answer might be a little bit too cutthroat for y'all. Since you know what motivates him is talking bad about him, what would a smart manager do to get the best out of him? Ooh, y'all not ready for that. Y'all not ready for that. Y'all not ready for that. What would a good manager do? If I know that motivates you, I'm going to push that pride button in you over and over. On purpose. If I'm managing Diggs and I want him to tackle better, I'm going to tell you how I would do Diggs. I'm being honest. You know what I would do to Diggs? I'll say, man, you soft. What? Bro, listen, bro. You soft, bro. Man, when the last time you laid somebody out? Now, I wouldn't mean it for shit, but I would know that get him going. If I was his teammate, I would do him like that. On purpose. Because I know that get him going. I would just call him soft just to get... I would call him soft every game. I'd be like, bro, Diggs, you soft as fuck, bro. Like, for real, bro. You ain't laid nobody out. When you go lay a real hit, bro? You ain't laid no damn hit, bro. That's why I don't like them Bama players. Y'all soft. And see, K-Fate, pay attention. I did that to the OC. True story. K-Fate, you be paying attention. I swear to God. You got a good memory. I did that to my co-host in college. I got the best out of him. Because I knew him. I knew if you want to get the best out of the OC, say he can't do something. He liked Diggs. So when me and the OC was in college, I'm playing corner, and I just wanted to make sure he had a real good spring game. That's all I wanted. I wanted my boy to ball out. He was already the starting left tackle. He was already that dude. I was just like, I just want him to have an excellent finish. So I went over to him and I was like, hey, bro, are you weak? He said, what? I said, bro, I ain't trying to offend you, but, you know, I'm on the defensive side, bro. They be talking bad about you. He said, what? I said, they call you soft and shit. Like, you soft? He said, who said I'm soft? I started naming all my defensive players. My boy Mods called you soft. I forgot the other dude's name now. But, yeah. You know, I started naming them dudes. I say, bro, they be going off on you. Don't you wear white gloves? He was like, yeah, I wear white gloves. I said, yeah, bro, they was talking about you. They call you the Claw. The Claw? I said, yeah, like, because you be holding. They call you the Claw, bro. You soft. That's all I said. And I walked off. And we was here to play in the spring game against each other. And I was looking at the OC. And he looked like a crazed wolf. He didn't shave. He was sitting in his locker and he was just. And I was just looking at it. I was like, yeah, my speech worked. And he was sitting there. He was just looking crazy. He was. He had a game look. I swear to God. And I was sitting there. And I went out there. I played my game. And then I saw him out there. He was trying to kill and murder everybody. And so then after the spring game, we was all eating barbecue. He was like, I killed him out there today. I remember what you said. I said, oh, I was just playing, bro. I said, I made this shit up. He said, you did? I said, yeah, I made it up. I said, I just wanted to see you play at your best. It worked. So, why is that story important? Because if front office says anger motivates us, why would we praise them? Why? Like, even if they doing a good job, that doesn't motivate them. Do what motivates them. If anger motivates them and you want a running back, tell Dallas, y'all soft. Treat them just like Diggs. Say, y'all not serious. Y'all whack us. You whack. I don't like you, Dallas, and I'm not supporting you, Dallas, until you go get me my RB1. But you know what we do? We do the opposite. We talk about how smart Will McClay is, and we talk about how smart Steven is and how genius Jerry is. That's not the right way to get what you're trying to get in this campaign. I'm just being all the way honest. It's not the way to get what you're trying to get. If you're trying to get RB1, first of all, we need to all get behind it. And let me tell you something. I already know, based on how most of Cowboy fans are, I know we ain't gonna get a lot of help on this. I just need a few more lose. I know, listen, and I mean this, we are like the Marines. We just need a few more. You can't trust usually the majority. I just need a few. Lou just need a few. We just need a few. That's all we need. That's all we looking for. It's just a few. So I need to know, are you one of them few? Because I promise you, if I go to X and click on trade for RB1, it should be way more than what it is. But guess what? Angie up in there. Angie just tweeted it. She ain't said nothing in the chat yet. But guess what? She a shooter. She a soldier. She tagged Dallas and she hashtag. So guess what? And let me tell you the truth. It should be way more than what it is. Because y'all seeing it work. It should be way more content creators up in here. But you only see a few. Now, we getting stuff we ain't seen in years. And this was the first year we was really serious about moving together as a unit. This is the first year we stood together with hashtag no Kellen Moore, hashtag Keenan Allen, hashtag team weapons, hashtag team trenches, hashtag respect one tech. We literally got everything we wanted. The only thing we didn't get was hashtag A77 pay Micah now. We didn't get that one. But guess what? They tried. They tried. Yeah. So no, we ain't get it all. But they take serious what we talk about as a unit. Are you one of the few? Are you Angie? Are you Lou? Are you Chris 214, Stephen Mack, D.A. Lee, Stargazer, Lou again, me of course, Jarvis Jones? Are you willing to add your voice? Are you willing to go where they are? And look, Courtney, of course Courtney. Of course, Davion Wallace. These are people that listen to the channels and they add their voice because they know Jerry is listening. They know they get a report and they do something about it. They not sitting on their hands. They not sitting over there waiting. They not crying and I quit and we not gonna get receiver. See, cause I'm gonna just be honest, that's what made me frustrated sometimes. And I'm being honest. We getting it, what we've been campaigning for. It does frustrate me that it's a lot of people that's running victory laps for Kenny Clark, but they never threw one punch for one tech when we was fighting for it. I'm just being honest. That should frustrate me. It's a lot of people that's using Kenny Clark to take shots at Micah, but they never shot one bullet when we was going to war for the one tech. It's a whole lot of people that put on ski mask for Pickens, but when we was out there pushing hard for wide receiver 2, they quit or didn't help at all. I'm saying when you, let me just ask you a real question. It's a common sense question. When was the last time Dallas got real aggressive for a receiver like Pickens? When was the last time Dallas traded for a one tech like Kenny? Is it a coincidence that this is the year they're doing what we have been loud about? Is that a coincidence? Or is it what John Machota said?
Even and some other people in the front office, they do get a printout. I don't know if it's daily, but every couple of days of, you know, Twitter things that, you know, are being written and people are saying, but I doubt that.
Is that a coincidence? So I'm gonna say this. I already know. It's people go listen. They gonna know I'm telling the truth. They gonna know Jerry and them getting the report. They gonna know all that, and they still ain't gonna do nothing. We don't want you. We want Angie's. We want Samson Carter right here. We want a few. We want the people that's willing to fight for their Cowboys. We want the people that's willing to fight for that bling bling. Cause we got our shoes.
Is it the shoes?
We finally got we've been fighting for shoes for 2 years. Now let's go get the bling bling.
Bling bling, bling bling, bling bling, bling bling, what? Bling bling, what? Bling bling, what? Bling bling, what?
Let's go get that bling bling, y'all. So this is the plan. We got to push hard for this up until the trade deadline. Okay? We got to make this loud. What usually makes this loud is crisis. If them running backs come out there and they looking pedestrian, that's exactly when the Dallas Cowboys go get it even that much more serious about solving it. So yes, we started the campaign. Lou is doing a great job in this campaign. He's literally doing amazing.
So it's clear the Dallas Cowboys are one move away from this roster being a legitimate contender, and the position that needs the most work is running backs. So here are 3 running back targets that the Cowboys need to target via trade. My first guy would be Bijan Robinson, the running back from the Falcons. It'll cost you a pretty hefty compensation, but hey, we already lost a high profile player, so we have extra picks. Let's use those picks to get a very much so a game changing young player that comes in and fit our scheme. He can run the zone, he can run the gap scheme, he can catch passes out the backfield, he can protect. I think he comes in intelligent, and he marries well with our team and instantly makes us contenders. The second name is Jonathan Taylor. He's over in Indianapolis, and Indianapolis are doing absolutely nothing with him. He comes to Dallas. He's the perfect gap scheme runner. Big, physical, and just have a great feel and vision behind his offensive line. He will be amazing. He will maybe cost maybe a third or fourth round pick. And my last name is pretty much realistic and a compromise for the front office. How about Ramondre Stevenson, the current starting back for the New England Patriots over there, on the end of his rookie deal? It maybe cost you maybe a fourth, fifth rounder. You bring him in. He's a nice, powerful build with great vision, great burst, and great speed, short area quickness. I think he comes in and instantly elevates our run game. But point period, we need to upgrade the running back and trade for a RB1.
Ooh, let's go, Lou. Let's go. I love fighting with that boy. I'm with it, Lou. I'm with it. I'm with it. Let's go get it. Our voice matter. Add to the campaigns. Be one of the few good men. Be one of the few good women that's actually willing to put in some work behind this stuff. This is my case to you, the Dallas Cowboys. This is my case. You're going to exponentially win if you do this. You are going to exponentially win. Your history says, your own history says, running back is usually your most important and final key. You got literally two number ones. You have CeeDee Lamb and you have Pickens. Pickens is not even guaranteed because he might not even come back. If he goes to the free agent market, and especially if he ball out, you might just have this year as your window to put together two number ones and a back. This is your chance, Dallas. On top of that, one of the most important things you go get is so much more enthusiasm from your fans. If you go out there and you go get you a real RB1, you're going to put so much hope and energy in your fans. You go take away all the talk of baby nuts and you're scared and you're passive. You go show that you're serious about getting over the hump. Because I ain't gonna even lie, Philly looks like they way more serious than you. Because they had the back that you have right now, Sanders. And that back had 1,300 yards and about 13 touchdowns, and they still wasn't satisfied. They took him and said, no, we can get better, and they got Saquon. You looking like you took their leftovers, to be honest. Go get your own Saquon. The Saquon that's equivalent to Saquon is Jonathan Taylor. Dallas, let's go get some bling bling. Trade for RB1.
I be that nigga with the ice on me. If it costs less than 20, it don't look right on me.